Genesis 4 verses 1 to 16. Adam had intercourse with his wife Eve, and she became pregnant. She bore a son and said, "By the Lord's help I have gotten a son." So she named him Cain. Later she gave birth to another son, Abel. Abel became a shepherd, but Cain was a farmer. After some time, Cain brought some of his harvest and gave it as an offering to the Lord. Then Abel brought the first lamb born to one of his sheep, killed it, and gave the best parts of it as an offering. The Lord was pleased with Abel and his offering, but he rejected Cain and his offering. Cain became furious, and he scowled in anger. Then the Lord said to Cain, "Why are you angry? Why that scowl on your face? If you had done the right thing, you would be smiling, but because you have done evil, sin is crouching at your door. It wants to rule you, but you must overcome it."
Then Cain said to his brother Abel, "Let's go out in the fields." When they were out in the fields, Cain turned on his brother and killed him. The Lord asked Cain, "Where is your brother Abel?" "I don't know," he answered. "Am I supposed to take care of my brother?" Then the Lord said, "Why have you done this terrible thing? Your brother's blood is crying out to me from the ground, like a voice calling for revenge. You are placed under a curse and can no longer farm the soil. It has soaked up your brother's blood as if it had opened its mouth to receive it when you killed him. If you try to grow crops, the soil will not produce anything. You will be a homeless wanderer on the earth." And the story continues. And Cain said to the Lord, "This punishment is too hard for me to bear. You are driving me off the land and away from your presence. I will be a homeless wanderer on the earth, and anyone who finds me will kill me." But the Lord answered, "No. If anyone kills you, 7 lives will be taken in revenge." So the Lord put a mark on Cain to warn anyone who met him not to kill him. And Cain went away from the Lord's presence and lived in a land called Wandering, which is east of Eden. My friend, as Christians, what do we learn from the above story of Cain and Abel? As Christians, there are several lessons we can learn from the story of Cain and Abel as described in Genesis 4, 1 to 16. Importance of proper worship. The passage highlights the importance of bringing our best to God in worship. Abel's offering of the firstborn lamb from his flock was pleasing to God because it demonstrated his genuine devotion and obedience. It reminds us to approach God with reverence and offer our wholehearted worship. Control over anger and jealousy. Cain's anger and jealousy towards his brother Abel led him to commit the grave sin of murder. This teaches us the destructive consequences of harboring negative emotions and the importance of resolving conflicts peacefully and seeking reconciliation. Accountability before God. When God confronted Cain about his sin, Cain tried to evade responsibility by denying knowledge of his brother's whereabouts. However, God knew the truth and held Cain accountable for his actions. This reminds us that we are ultimately accountable to God for our choices and actions. Consequences of sin. God pronounced a curse upon Cain for his murder, including a loss of productivity from the land and a life of wandering. This serves as a reminder that sin has consequences, both in our relationship with God and in our lives. It underscores the importance of living a righteous life and avoiding the destructive path of sin. God's mercy and protection. Despite Cain's grave sin, God showed him mercy by sparing his life and placing a mark on him to protect him from revenge. This demonstrates God's compassion and willingness to offer forgiveness and protection even to those who have committed great wrongs. Overall, the story of Cain and Abel teaches us about the significance of sincere worship, controlling our negative emotions, being accountable before God, the consequences of sin, and God's mercy and protection. It encourages us to live a life of righteousness and seek reconciliation with both God and our fellow human beings.